Here's something that a lot of people don't want to admit, and a lot of people do wrong. I'll just put myself into it as well. Podcasting is if you want to do it, you want to do it. You know, I have 2 episodes a week. Majority of these episodes are an hour plus. Actually, almost all of these episodes are an hour plus. It's very rare that I talk for less than an hour. 2 times a week. Meaning that at minimum, there's 8 episodes a week or 8 episodes a month where I'm talking for an hour plus. You know what that means? That means that there is a window, a very large window, for me to be wrong about something. I'm not in here giving straight facts. I'm not in here, shouts out to the people that do this. And I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I'm just saying I don't come in here and break down every single game, break down every single play that happened on an NFL field, on a basketball court. I give my opinions on things that I want to talk about, and that just so happen to be sports. What I'm saying is there is such a wide window for me and a lot of podcasters that do what I do to be wrong about things. And the last thing you want to do, it's okay to be wrong, because essentially this is your opinion. This is essentially a space that I've allowed myself to give my opinion. But what I think a lot of people struggle with, and a lot of podcasters struggle with, a lot of media personalities, just a lot of people in general struggle with, is the ability to admit when you were wrong. Because again, as much as I talk, there have been a river of wrong takes that I've had. And that's okay. I don't think it dampens what I say or dampens what anyone says to be wrong, but do not die on a wrong hill. And that is what the unpopular topic of the day is going to be. What I wanted to do, I wanted to poke a little bit fun of myself and bring my failures, bring my wrongs to the light. I wanted to end this episode by giving some of my preseason takes that were extremely wrong. And I want, it's okay. With the season being over, the play-in happening, and obviously the playoffs starting in a couple days, it's okay to be wrong. I don't want to talk about, because I'm recording this on a Tuesday, so I don't know what happened in tonight's play-in. Obviously, you have Golden State playing the Kings. You have the Lakers playing the Pelicans. I'll give my predictions. Obviously, they may be right. They may be wrong. I think that the Golden State Warriors are going to beat the Kings, and I think the Lakers are going to beat the Pelicans tomorrow, which is Wednesday when I'm dropping this episode. I think the Bulls are going to beat the Hawks, and I think the Sixers are going to beat the Heat. But I wanted to end this episode, obviously, with highlighting some of my NBA preseason takes that I thought was going to happen that obviously didn't happen. One thing that nobody can accuse me of, and I mean no one can accuse me of, and that is not being faithful to my favorite teams. I will, as much as it pains me, I even call it a mental health issue at times. I will, year after year after year, I will ride with my Washington Commanders, my Washington Wizards, my Washington Mystics, my Washington Nationals, my Washington Capitals, my Washington Go-Go. Like, I will ride with my home team. Now, yes, that doesn't stop me from liking other players and other teams, but I have my faithful. And I say all that to say, I had so much hopes for Jordan Poole this season. I know you guys remember how, I guess you can say, glowing I spoke of the Jordan Poole move, going from the Warriors to the Wizards. And that is where I'm going to start my wrong train. I thought I said Jordan Poole was going to be an all-star. I said Jordan Poole was going to be amongst the league leaders in points. I thought that Jordan Poole was going to be an all-NBA player. I didn't think, in no way, shape, or form did I think that the Wizards were going to be good enough to be a playoff team. I didn't think that. I knew that we were tanking. As a team, we're tanking, so it's going to be a bad year. But I thought going from Golden State, where there's so much expectation to win, to going to the Wizards, where there's no expectations to win, and you just have to be yourself. I thought Jordan Poole was going to have a season for the books. And he did just that. Jordan Poole, boy, not only was I wrong about every single take I had about Jordan Poole in this preseason, he hit none of those accomplishments. I mean, the man finished, I think, averaging 17 points a game, which is like 54th in the league. He's nowhere close. He got benched. He got benched on a play-in team. I mean, not a play-in, on a tanking team. And there was multiple, and I mean multiple occasions, where you can say that Jordan Poole is probably the least improved player. In fact, he probably regressed, as unfortunate as it is. Now, I know he did kind of finish strong towards the end of the season, but I had so much hope for Jordan Poole and my Wizards, man. I thought the Wizards were going to be so fun to watch. Again, I did not expect much winning, but I expected some joy to be had watching a Wizards game. You know, now I know how it feels to be like a Detroit Pistons fan. Because, boy, as hard as it was watching Wizards fans, I can imagine how difficult it was. Shouts out to my man's Kofi, man. He has a really good channel, and he's a diehard Detroit Pistons fan. And he talks about how difficult it is to watch Detroit games. Well, I'm right there with you, brother, watching Jordan Poole and Wizards game. So that's probably the worst thing I was wrong about. And that is obviously Jordan Poole just having a scorched earth year. I thought it was going to be great, man. I had him winning most improved and leading the league in scoring. I was extremely wrong. Speaking of Jordan Poole and the team that he left, I thought Golden State was going to be a top 5 seed. I mean, you still have Steph, you still have Clay, you still have Draymond Green. I thought Andrew Wiggins was going to be much better than he was last year, especially seeing as though he missed most of the year with a personal issue, and he also missed a lot of this year with a personal issue. Not a lot, but he missed some time this year with a personal issue. Again, I don't know exactly what the personal issue is, so I'm not going to speak on it. But what I will say is I just thought that last year was a bad year. They understood that this was kind of like a last dance type year for them, and they were going to try their darndest to win it all. Or not win it all, but at least play up to their capability. I didn't expect Jonathan Kuminga to be this good. I thought they were going to trade him. So now that Jonathan Kuminga was that good, I thought that Golden State was going to be a top 5 seed. Boy, they are the 10th. And I don't even know, by the time you listen to this, their season may be over. Man. Oh, boy. Hey, age hits you, bro. When age hits you, it hits you. And I've talked about this on several occasions throughout this season, man. When dynasties never end pretty. And I'm not saying that Golden State can't win it this year. I think I would be shocked if they won it this year. But This is what dynasties look like when they end. Kawhi is kept. And I just thought that it was going to be another year of holding on. I thought they were going to, especially getting Chris Paul. I thought they were going to flip Chris Paul at the trade deadline and get somebody. Man, I was wrong. Going to the East, I was also wrong about Milwaukee. I think we all were wrong about Milwaukee, but I'm going to own my wrongs. I thought that they were going to run away with the East. Getting Damian Lillard, getting Giannis on the same team, still having, some of your Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez. I thought that pairing two players that were on the NBA 75 list, I thought they were going to just, especially with the East being as weak as it is, I thought they were going to run through the East. And while, yes, I think that the third seed, you can look at this team, you can look at this Bucks team and understand that this ain't no. I would be shocked. I'll say that. I would be shocked if they won a championship. Probably the same amount of shock if Golden State won. You can look at this team and just think there's something wrong. A lot of people talk about Damian Lillard's off the court situation that's going on. Hey, whatever it is, it just doesn't. There's something missing from Milwaukee. It could be Doc Rivers. I don't know. But on top of that, Giannis is not going to be ready for the start of this series. I'm going to tell you something. You can poo-poo at the Pacers all you want. They will lose. I think they will lose every game Giannis doesn't play. Unless we get a nuclear Damian Lillard, which we have not seen at all this year. Maybe once. I think he had like a 48-point game. Maybe once. But unless you get a nuclear Dame, which we have not seen damn near at all this year, they will lose every single game Giannis doesn't play. And I know that they're going to reevaluate everything, but I talked about it last episode. That injury did not look good for Giannis. Especially with it being his dominant leg. Nah. I was wrong about Milwaukee. I think we all were wrong. But I'm going to own up to my wrongs. I was wrong about Milwaukee, and I thought they were going to be much better. I thought they were going to be far and away the best team in the East. Even with all the moves that the Celtics had. And that is probably the last wrong that I'm going to talk about because I'm starting to feel insecure about myself and my takes. Remember I talked about how there is a clear ceiling with the Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown duo. I've been talking about this for a few years now, but I thought, especially when we saw everything that happened with the contract situation this offseason with Jaylen Brown, I thought that if there was any time to trade Jaylen Brown and get him up out of here, this was the year to do it. Or this was the season. I knew that they were going to be good getting Drew Holiday, getting Kristaps Porzingis, but I just thought it wasn't going to work with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, seeing as though they've gotten to, a Western Conference or Eastern Conference Finals. They got to the NBA Finals. They just have not won it. Well, as we sit here today, the Celtics are far and away the best team in the East, and you can make a good argument that they're far and away the best team in basketball. Jaylen Brown, he has, outside of maybe his left hand, he has improved. He was one of the worst post-up guards in the league. Now he's one of the best. Jason Tatum struggled mightily with catch and shoot. Now he's one of the best catch and shoot players in the league. I was wrong. I was extremely wrong about the Celtics as far as the Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown pairing. And I was wrong. Oh, man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.